Hi there, boys and girls. We are joined once again by our friend Sally the Snake and her daughter Susie.
Hello, boys and girls. Say hello to the boys and girls, dear.
Hi, dear boys and girls. It's good to see you.
Well, Mrs. Neve, we wanted to thank you for that nonfiction selection, Spending Money.
Oh, good. I'm glad it was helpful.
Oh, yes. It helps Susie to see the importance of planning how you spend your money and having a budget. That way you don't spend it all in one place.
Yes, that is important.
And I was also pleased that she was willing to share. Remember how she bought that pencil for me at the zoo? It was 25 cents.
I remember.
I love you, Mommy, and I want to share with you.
Oh, thank you, dear. Well, dear, you are ready to start receiving your allowance. Yay! You've been working hard on your chores this week, so here's your first allowance. $2.
Thank you, Mommy.
Here you are, dear.
Thank you. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, Mommy, is I'm going to give some to the church for the Lord's work.
That's wonderful, dear.
I think I'll give 20 cents.
That's a great idea.
Oh, yes. Jesus is smiling.
I think so. Now, Mrs. Neve, I'm sad to say there's an Eric Carle book about a snake that was not generous and willing to share.
Oh, really?
Let me get it for you. It's called The Greedy Python.
Oh, dear. Being greedy, of course, means that you're not willing to share and be generous.
That's right. Can you hold on to this, Mrs. Neve? It's hard to talk with a book in your mouth.
Oh, certainly. There we go.
Oh, yes. Now, I don't want to be prideful about this, Mrs. Neve. I mean, I remember that man Jesus talked about that prayed and said he was better than everybody else.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember the man that went up and prayed and said, "Oh, I'm glad that I love God and that I give money to the poor and that I'm better than that other guy over there."
That's right. Jesus was not pleased with him.
No, we don't want to be prideful.
God helps us to learn about being generous and willing to share. And I hope God helps the greedy python learn too.
Absolutely. Okay, well, why don't you two have a seat and we will start the fiction selection, The Greedy Python.
Very good, Mrs. Neve. We'll sit crisscross applesauce all coiled up.
Excellent. Okay, there they go. And we have our fiction selection, The Greedy Python. Now notice, it is not the very greedy python. I don't know why Eric Carle didn't go with that, but here you go. Now we do have our author listed here, which is, Richard Buckley is the author, but Eric Carle did the pictures. All right, so it's another book that he collaborated with another author. Collaborate means you work together. All right, let's hear The Greedy Python. Here we go. Half hidden in the jungle green, the biggest snake there's ever been, wound back and forth and in between. Wow, he's got some good camouflage going on, doesn't he? Blending in with those leaves. The giant snake was very strong and very, very, very long. He had a monstrous appetite. His stomach stretched from left to right. Oh my goodness. He is very, very, very long. Did you notice this is a rhyming book? Mm-hmm. He quickly gobbled in one bite whatever creature came in sight. A mouse that scampered to and fro, a frog that jumped up from below, a bat that hung from his left toe, a fish that swam a bit too slow, a bird that flew a bit too low. Goodness, he's eating everything in sight. Very greedy. A porcupine still half asleep, a monkey who was in mid-leap. Oh my goodness, he caught him right in the air. A leopard sitting in a tree, a buffalo who came to see. Tree and sea are your rhyming words. An elephant, complete with trunk, was swallowed in a single chunk. "I'm far too big to eat," he cried. "Oh, no, you're not," the snake replied. How did he do it? At last, the python's meal was done, and he lay resting in the sun. The animals inside his skin were making quite a dreadful din. Now, a din is a loud noise. You could see all the big, huge lump there of all the animals inside. Now, when snakes eat an animal, you really can see the lump inside when they first go in. Interesting. There's a lot of animals there. Wait. Okay, we are on the right page. And when they all began to kick, the snake began to feel quite sick. He coughed the whole lot up again, each one of them, and there were 10. Let's count. We'll make sure that Eric Carle put all 10 animals there. Okay, here's our greedy python. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on this page. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this page. 4 plus 6 equals, you're right, 10. He did draw all 10. He soon felt better, and what's more, was hungrier than just before. He hadn't learned a single thing. His greed was quite astonishing. That means surprising. He saw his own tail, long and curved, and thought that lunch was being served. Oh no. He thinks that's lunch. What do you think's going to happen? He closed his jaw on his own rear, then swallowed hard and disappeared. Oh my goodness. He ate himself. He did not learn his lesson. Sally, I'm sorry to say, he thought his tail was dinner and ate himself. This is quite astonishing, Mrs. Neve. Very surprising indeed. Is that the ending that you predicted? No, it was not. Me neither. You know what? I think he was very greedy. I think Eric Carle could have named this book The Very Greedy Python. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Neve. You know, this kind of reminds me of another story we heard. Oh, me too. Boys and girls, does it remind you of another story we've done in kindergarten? I'm thinking Herman the Worm. It is a lot like Herman the Worm, isn't it? The greedy python starts eating all these animals and then they come out. I think for old time's sake, you know, we're almost to the end of kindergarten. We've got to do Herman the Worm again. It was one of our kindergarten favorites, right? Hey, did you write about it in your kindergarten memory, in your journal? All right, well, now, in order to do Herman the Worm, we of course need at first to come up with the 4 things that Herman's going to eat. And just like in the greedy python, they're going to start out small and then get a little bigger each time, right? Okay, so let's see. We'll ask some of our friends here at the rug what we should start with. Remember, first we have to start with something small for Herman to eat. Let's see. Guys, what do you think? Oh, I see a quiet paw up. Mickey Mouse?
Hey, Mrs. Neve, I think the first thing that he should eat is a mouse.
Okay, let's go with that, mouse. In fact, let's we want to keep track of it and not forget. So we're going to turn our camera this way, and we're going to write mouse as the first thing for Herman to eat. So number 1, there we go, mouse, M, ow, it's O-U to make the ow sound, mouse, there's the S, And who knows why, but there's a silent E at the end. Mouse. Okay, Mickey, thank you for that suggestion.
You're welcome, Mrs. Neve.
Okay, now we need the second thing for Herman to eat. And remember, it needs to be an animal that is a little bit bigger. Let's see. Okay, I see that claw up. Little Red Hen, what are you thinking?
Hi there, boys and girls. Well, I think the thing that the Herman should eat next is a chicken.
Okay. Starting to see a pattern here. Okay, let's put chicken down as the second thing.
Okay.
Let's see. Number 2. C-H. Ch-I. We need an I. Chick. And you know what? It's that special sound, C-K. Chick-a-e. Chicken. We need an N for our ending sound. Chicken. And chickens are, if we're talking a full-grown chicken here. Have a seat, Little Red Hen.
Thank you.
A full-grown chicken is going to be, around this big. Okay, now we need a third thing for Herman to eat. So let's see. Gang, I see that quiet hoof over there.
Yes, Mrs. Neve.
Mr. Zebra, what do you think the third thing should be? We need something, bigger, say about, I don't think I can get it into the picture. Bigger, though.
I know what you mean, Mrs. Neve. I'm thinking a zebra.
Perfect. Zebras would be about that big.
Let's see. Can you write it in black?
Sure. Okay, so number 3. Zebra.
Yeah, I like zebras.
Z, of course. Z, E. We can hear the long E. Zeb, br. It's that BR special sound, isn't it? Zebra. I know you'd think it'd be a U for the sound, but it's an A. A can sometimes make the sound. Like in the word like a zebra.
I like that.
Okay, so we've got the first 3 things for Herman to eat. Now we need the biggest thing, the one that's really huge. Okay, I see that quiet fin over there. Yes, Mrs. Blue Whale?
Mrs. Neve, I'm thinking a whale. A blue whale.
Of course, they are the biggest animal on planet Earth.
Yes, so did you think Herman can do it?
Well, it is fiction.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and write down blue whale.
Can you use blue?
We can. Here we go. Number 4. Now, of course, you know how to write blue because it's a spelling word. Bing, bing, right? Blue. We've got our special sound of the week, BL. Blue. Long U with a silent E to make the U long. And we better move this over. And now whale. W. And remember, it's that WH special sound. What A. Whoops, it's kind of hard to make the A there. I'll erase that. There's our A. Whale. We need an L and a silent E to make A long. Okay, let's move this over so you can see all of the word whale. Okay, thank you, friends. We now have our 4 things for Herman to eat. So let's get ready to do Herman the Worm. Now, of course, you need to have your fence post. So check with Mom or Dad. Get special permission. What can you use there to be your fence post? Okay, and here we go. I was sitting on my fence post playing with my yo-yo, do-wop, when along came Herman the Worm, and Herman was this big. Well, I was sitting on my fence post playing with my yo-yo, do-wop, when along came Herman the Worm, and Herman was this big. And I said, Herman, what happened? And he said, I ate a mouse. Well, I was sitting on my fence post playing with my yo-yo, do-wop, when along came Herman the Worm. And Herman was this big. And I said, Herman, what happened? And he said, I ate a chicken. Oh no. Well, I was sitting on my fence post playing with my yo-yo. Do-wop, do-wop. When along came Herman the worm. And Herman was this big. And I said, Herman, what happened? And he said, duh, I ate a zebra. Dear. Well, I was sitting on my fence post playing with my yo-yo. Do-wop, do-wop. When along came Herman the worm. And Herman was this big. And I said, Herman, what happened? And he said, duh, I ate a blue whale. Can you believe it? Well, I was sitting on my fence post playing with my yo-yo. Do-wop, do-wop. When along came Herman the worm. And Herman was this big. And I said, Herman, what happened? And he said, duh, I burped. Nice job, boys and girls. And of course, all the animals came out when he burped. Kind of like they all came out of the greedy python, huh? Wow. Well, you did a great job with Herman the worm. And you know what? You should do Herman the worm some more at home. Of course, you want to come up with your own things for Herman to eat. Of course, they have to start small, you know, and then they get bigger as you go. And write down your ideas. And that way you could do the rhyme for somebody at home and point to the words as you say them. You get to be the teacher, right? Sounds good. Okay, well, have fun with it, boys and girls. And Sally, where did you go? Oh, there she is.
Okay, Mrs. Neve. That was fun. And I like Herman the worm. You know, he's kind of like a small snake.
That's true.
Well, boys and girls, thank you for joining us.
Indeed. Thank you for joining us, boys and girls. And always remember,
be generous and willing to share.
Absolutely. Love you guys.